Good morning from the sunny Caribbean. I'm on Isla Baru. Most people know this as Playa Blanca, which is probably the most popular day trip from Cartagena in Colombia. But it's also one of the most notorious. Some people love it, some people get scammed. And so I'm staying here for a few days. I'm going to share with you what you need to know to have a great experience, not get scammed, and not have your phone stolen.
I don't know how much one is though.
I just got here and let me tell you, it is gorgeous. The water is green, the sand is white, but also there are so many people. This is definitely the most popular day trip from Cartagena for good reason. It's gorgeous. Now, I just got here and I did it in a bit of an unconventional way. So let me explain how you can get to Playa Blanca because there are 5 different ways. The cheapest way is to take public transportation here. It stops at one of the villages and from there you need to spend roughly $10,000 to get a moto taxi. So you got to be comfortable with a motorbike and you can't have a lot of stuff with you. Second way to do it is you can actually take a cab that is $100,000 to $150,000 to come here, depending on where you're going, if you're coming to this beach or another one, or if you're going to a hotel. Now, for 4 people, that's actually not a bad price, especially if you're getting it for $100,000. That is what my hostel offered. You can also take a boat here. So to take a boat, you actually don't need to go through an agency. If you go down to where the fast boats are, there is a window there. You get the proper price, you get an official ticket, and it's also the cheapest price. I believe it's $75,000, but I'm going to check that. 2 other ways you can do it is, one, you can take a tour. You can't walk even a block in Cartagena without being offered a tour here. Prices range from $120 at backpacker hostels to $300, and so it really depends. You're not all getting the same tour. So I think the backpacker, you get transportation here and back, you get a fried fish lunch, which is tilapia. If you're spending, $150, $200, $250, you might be going to a beach club, you might have free drinks, you might get a free cabana. It all depends. But you might also all be on the same bus. So if somebody paid a lot less than you, don't worry. It could be due to the amenities, so make sure. But bare bones, it's $120 from the hostels. Now, I'm not coming here for the day, so I didn't pick any of those things. I'm actually here for 2 nights. I'm staying down the beach. I'll tell you more about it later. And so I was able to join one of the tours and just pay $50,000 one way to come here. And so if that's all you want, if you just want transportation here and you're only one person, that's probably the most effective way to get here, definitely the cheapest. And so just ask for that, see what people can do. Now to go back, I believe I'm gonna be doing it differently. I need to talk to a couple people about it, but I heard the boat is less than half the price to return as it is to come here. So we'll see. And I made it to my hostel. So I'm not actually staying in Playa Blanca, I'm staying in Playa Tranquila, or the Tranquil Beach. It's 10 minutes. You just walk 10 minutes past all of the noise and the partying and the reggaeton and the hawkers and the massages, and you get here. This spot is small, it's very rustic. It has 1 dorm, 4 beds, and then 2 rooms, which are a little bit less rustic. My dorm bed is $10 a night, and I think the room is $25. But I didn't really think I needed a room because I'm going to spend all my time on the beach. I'm just going to sleep there. But it's really lovely down at this end. There are still hotels and hostels and restaurants, but they're just more chill. There's music, but it's not like blasting. And there's nobody here. A little bit further down, just around the corner, there are more people. And they've got you know, beach clubs, but just more chill beach clubs. I don't know. It's really beautiful because you get the same ocean, you get the same water, the same beach, but you don't get like all of that. I'm not saying it's better. If you want to party, you can go down there. And if you want to relax, you can come here. It's like the best of both worlds. This is the view from my hostel. There's nobody around. Well, it looks like someone might be snorkeling. And then you've got Sasha reading. But otherwise, it's so calm here. All right, so just 2 doors down from where I'm staying, there's a restaurant called La Peruana, and it is known as one of the best places to have food on the beach. Now, it's not Colombian, which is kind of breaking my rule, but they have Peruvian ceviche. And let me tell you, you gotta break your rule for Peruvian ceviche. I mean, I love ceviche in Ecuador, in Colombia, in Mexico, but it does not be Peruvian. This is 35,000. It is a perfect, I'm gonna call it a first lunch. I'm gonna eat this and then I'm going to have a Colombian lunch later on today. But the reason also I chose this was that I do like eating ceviche from street vendors in Colombia. However, I don't eat it after 11, and that's because they've been walking around with it all day, usually in a cooler. I don't know how long it's been there, how long they've been keeping it cool. It's just safer for me to eat it here. So it's lunchtime. I am having it. I'm so excited. Just fresh fish. Oh, the beautiful view of the Caribbean. It's like the perfect combination. Peruvian ceviche is just a little bit spicy, really bright with lime, a little bit oniony, fresh fish. It's really simple, but it's so, so good. I'm so glad I broke my rule because the view, this is becoming a very beautiful time on Isla Baru. It's a gorgeous day in Playa Tranquila. I'm gonna walk down to Playa Blanca just to give you a sense of how much it changes. Right now you can see not a lot of people around. It's very calm, no music. There are some vendors, they do make their way down both beaches, so if you wanna buy some food from one of them, you can. But overall, just very chill. If you need to get some water or really anything, it's much cheaper than at this end of the beach. I've gone to Mini Market Acapulco. You can get a liter of water for 5,000, which is more expensive than the mainland, but definitely much cheaper than if you are in Playa Blanca. My hostel is very rustic, but ones like this and some other have a bit more amenities. This one also has a bar, a restaurant. Others have just a little bit more space. Nothing really on this beach is high end, and that's just because they don't have the infrastructure for it. You can see things are starting to get a little bit more active. People are out on beach chairs, and then further down, that's where you start to see the little cabañas. So pretty much the standard here is to have the thatched roofs. It's very local materials. I don't believe any of the places have their own source of fresh water, so they have to bring it in with tanks, which can make it challenging for plumbing, bathrooms, all of that, but people here make it work. But just be prepared to have a very rustic kind of experience. Coming down here, if you come down for the day, all of these cabañas, these chairs will be filled within the hour. And that's because I have not seen anyone really like sunning on the beach. It is really hot, it's very humid. So pretty much everyone who comes here actually just gets a chair, and they're pretty affordable. They're $10 for the day, and the price goes up from there. So ask around. I think when you get to the bigger beach clubs, the ones closest to the water are closer to $20. This is probably the fanciest you'll see with these like white cabañas and these teardrop chairs. There's one more spot which looks like you're gonna pay a premium price. All I have to say is same beach, same beer, same cocktails, you're just gonna pay more. Other side of this place. People who can balance things on their head are always so impressive. I actually like to choose vendors who do that just because I'm thinking, yeah, that would be hard to balance on your head all day. People have just arrived, and so all of the vendors are out, especially the massage ladies, because they want to be the first to you, and if you say not now, they're like, okay, I'm gonna come back later. So you can't choose anyone else. They basically mark you as soon as you get there. I can see the crowds down there. Wow, it's getting full. Oh, ceviche is out. Nice and early. This is when you want to get the ceviche. So those mandarin oranges started off at 7,000 and came down to 5 very quickly when I said I'm only one person. That's pretty good. 6 mandarin oranges for $1. I'll give it to him. He's persistent. It went down to 4,000. A lot of people, and as soon as they land, somebody's trying to sell them something. If you need a waterproof iPhone case, if you need goggles, snorkels, if you need buckets to play in the sand, don't worry, whatever you've forgotten, they can take care of you. If you look at the Colombians, they're smart. Locals who come here, they bring their own beer, they bring their own drinks, they bring their own food. They might buy a little bit extra, but especially things like drinks and water, they bring with them because it's expensive here. About staying somewhere where the owner actually lives there is that they know all of the best places, they know where to go, they know the business owners. And so when I met Macarena, I said, I'm really interested in eating local food, and also I want to support local businesses, people that live here. And so she said to me, you have to go to Nuestros Tesoros, which is our 3 treasures. And she said that they would have like very typical Colombian coastal food. And that's what I'm having right now. So when I came by earlier at 11, I met Gustavo and I said to him, oh, I'm gonna come by for lunch. He said, oh, but you should eat now because we're gonna be busy later. But it was 11 o'clock and I was like, no, no, no. So I came back at 1 and it's full, but Gustavo was so sweet. He said, don't worry about it. We've got more seating. Let me take you to the VIP. So I'm actually up in the top by myself shooting this so I don't feel weird, but also I have the best view and I have a really great breeze because it is quite humid here. Now, got the fried fish lunch, which comes with the patacones. It comes with the arroz de coco, the coconut rice. Comes with a little bit of salad. It comes with this drink, agua de panela, which is lime and a little bit of unprocessed sugar cane. And then you choose the fish. So basically, lunch depends on what fish you choose. I've been eating mojarra and discovered that that's tilapia. So I liked it, but I was like, wow, there's not a lot of meat on this and it's not that good of a fish. So talking to Gustavo this time, I went with the sierra, which is still a small fish, but also it's a little bit more tasty. I looked it up and I think it's Spanish mackerel. So that's definitely a more flavorful fish. Tilapia fried, yeah, it doesn't really taste like anything. Looking at this, like it looks like they've cooked it well. They've also cut it to make it easy to eat. Oh yeah, they know what they're doing. Get a little bit of lime on there. This is good. Don't get the mojarra. You're gonna spend $1 or $2 more, but it'll be worth it. All right, I'm having such a lovely time up here with the breeze, the sound of the ocean, the kids laughing. I decided to get a coco limonada. Limonada coco. Basically, it's a lemonade in coconut water. It's delicious, it's non-alcoholic, it's 25,000 Colombian pesos. But I wanted to take this time to actually explain something to you that I thought was really helpful as I was researching Islas de Rosario and especially Playa Blanca, because a lot of people have horrible things to say about Playa Blanca and there are a lot of stories about people getting ripped off. And the truth is that was happening for a really long time, and potentially could still happen, I don't know. But there is a way to protect yourself from that. So I think a lot of the reputable restaurants got together and said, you know what, why don't we just set a price list? Like, let's set, this is the price for mojarra, this is the price for sierra, like all the different fish. Let's set the price for ceviche, or if people even want salchipapas, this is like the standardized price. It doesn't have to be mandatory for all the restaurants, but as a group, let's agree upon it, because then we're not competing with each other to try to get down to the lowest dollar, but also it's more fair for tourists because they know what to expect and then they can choose where they want to go. So they did that. And when I came here, actually, I asked the price of the sierra, knowing that the standard price was $50,000, and that's exactly what I got. I got a full meal for $50,000, which is fantastic. I think that's a really great price for a very touristy kind of place. $10 for like a full lunch and a drink, good. Now, what they did was they also decided to expand this. So there is a standardized price for if you want to get like a tent, if you want to sit on the beach and get a chair, for a massage, all of those things, there's a standardized price. So I found this list, and I have a website called BaconisMagic, and I'm going to include it in a blog post with all of these tips from this video. I will put the link to that in the description below, because I think, you know, there's nothing worse than going somewhere as beautiful as this, having a beautiful meal, and then getting ripped off or figuring out that you've been ripped off by $1 or $2. It just ruins the whole thing. I know it might seem strange to have like ketchup and mayonnaise on cooked shrimp, but I swear it is so tasty, especially with that lime, the hot sauce, the red onion. It's just the perfect snack to have here along the coast with some saltine crackers for only $2. So good. Now, I'm heading back to the mainland. In my next video, I'm going to be in Cartagena, and I'm not going to be doing the typical Cartagena tour. In fact, I'm doing a tour called The Real Cartagena. We're going to go to places that locals own, places that most tourists don't go. That's what I've been promised, and I think it's going to be really interesting, so I hope to see you there. Till then, I'm just eating ceviche. Join my Patreon community for more behind the scenes and exclusive content you won't find elsewhere. You can also find me on Instagram, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. All of these things make my day. Thank you so much for your support.